I got a fever, and the only prescription is more pass rush. That's right. We are at the end of the NFL regular season. The Detroit Lions will be playing in game 272 for the second time in 3 years as they conclude the season for the #1 seed and to clinch the NFC North for the second consecutive year as they face the Minnesota Vikings at home, a game that I am going to try to attend even if I have to pay overtime. Shout out to Affirm and the spending power, man. Your boy got to be there. They might have to finance the entire playoff run. But the Detroit Lions are in dire need of getting to the quarterback. We traded for Zadarius Smith at the trade deadline, and he was not really a fill-in for Hutchinson, but kind of to stop the bleeding, to put a Band-Aid on the pass rush. And Zadarius Smith has not been able to do it by himself. It's been a few games, I believe, since he got a sack. And now the Detroit Lions are in a situation where they're out of time. They're out of time going to the playoffs. And we did do a video a couple days ago that the Lions are rumored to be interested in Calais Campbell if the Miami Dolphins are waived. And I mean, if they are not in the playoffs, and it's coming down to the last game of the season. So that information was put out there 3 games ago, but the Miami Dolphins are right in the thick of things. With the right combination of things happening, they could go to the NFL playoffs. With that being the case, there was a name today that dropped. Shout out to everybody that keeps me up on this. I was on the plane and I did not pay the extra $8 for Wi-Fi. I might have to do it for the future, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I couldn't have made a video about it. But that is that a pass rusher might have become available. That the Patriots are waiving veteran pass rusher Yannick Ngakoue today, per source, says Adam Schefter. Now, this is kind of a big deal. I know he's not what he used to be, Yannick Ngakoue, that is. But again, we're at the point where we are going to need all the help we can get. And we talk about it all the time, how we are going to need some help. We're going to the home stretch. And the Detroit Lions, they were able to sack Brock Purdy twice yesterday. I don't know who got those sacks. I didn't think to look at it before we went into this video, but so put it in the comment section below. I was up in the 4, so it was kind of tough to see and jumping all over the place. So let me know who got those sacks for the Detroit Lions yesterday. But the Lions need all the help they can get. And we're coming into the crunch time. Now, we're going to get a few guys back. We're going to get Alex Anzalone. He should be back for the first playoff game. Hopefully that is going to be in the middle of January with that divisional round. We're talking about like the 19th, somewhere around there. So he should be able to be back then. His 21-day window should be open this week. But the Detroit Lions are going to need some help. And whoever is out there who can make a difference, we can bring him in. Now, this guy was picked up he was actually, I want to say, yes, he was waived. Let's take a look real quick at what he's done this season thus far. He didn't initially start the season on a team. And then he was picked up in like week 3-ish, somewhere around there, by the Baltimore Ravens, which he played 5 games, and he wound up having a sack and a half. He played 6 games in New England and netted 0 sacks. No sacks, right? I don't know how many snaps he played. I don't know why that is, but I know that this right here is a number that, I mean, at this point, bodies make a difference, right? He could come on our team and get 1 sack. And guess what? That's 1 sack more than we have. The Detroit Lions are not that great at getting to the pass rusher. Yesterday, with that, we finally got some pressure on Brock Purdy, and that was the key. That was one of the things that helped contribute to the turnover, the interception by Kirby Joseph, at least that first one. Yannick Ngakoue would be a guy that we could bring in. Let me show you what the Detroit Lions have done. And also, I want to tell you about the clown suit. So we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I don't think you guys are going to like what you see. Now, this is the Detroit Lions sack count. Aiden Hutchinson has not played in he has not played in almost 3 months. He is 2 weeks shy of 3 months, and he leads the Detroit Lions in sacks still. Aleem McNeil is number 2. DJ Reader is number 3. Zadarius Smith, a man we traded for 6 weeks ago, well, almost 2 months ago, is number 4 on the sack list. And he has been with the team for a little over half a season. And he didn't even play his first game with the team. After that, you keep going down, okay? Now, here's what you guys are not going to like. The clown suit tally for me to wear the clown suit. Remember, I'm not moving the goalpost. Let me cut back to me real quick. I'm not moving the goalpost. And if the Detroit Lions have any shot, if you guys have any shot at me wearing the clown suit, we need to pick up Yannick Ngakoue. Now, the good news is he'll clear. Well, if he clears waivers, we'll see if the Detroit Lions will bring him in. Maybe the Detroit Lions put in a waiver claim for him. It's going to be interesting because he's not under contract for next year, right? If a team picks him up for one game, it could be a team that's trying to make a run at the playoffs. Maybe it's the Miami Dolphins. Maybe they're like, okay, you know what? And then maybe after that, I don't know how it works. After the season, the regular season is officially over. Can you waive players? Is it a deadline? I don't know. That's going to be something interesting to look at. But let's assume that he clears waivers or he, with the Detroit Lions, bring him in. But if you guys have any hope of me wearing a clown suit, here's what needs to happen. Now, you guys have actually been you've been given a sack, but you got one taken away as well. Let me show you what I mean. Now, oh, that's right. I was cutting back to me for a purpose. So let me cut back to me. I did not move the goalpost. It's always been the same thing. All right. I can say this by heart. If you want to watch it, you go back and you check out my DJ Reader, all right, video, where I spell it all out. What would have to happen for me to wear a clown suit? And it went as follows. The Detroit Lions, DJ Reader had to play a minimum of 12 games. He had to get a minimum of 2 sacks. He's played 12 games. He has 3 sacks. The defensive line designation, your designation had to be DE or DT, all right? They had to get a total of 28 sacks or more. If that happened, I would wear a clown suit. How I came up with that is the Cincinnati Bengals. He played there last season. He played 12 games. He had 2 sacks. The defensive line got 28 sacks. And Trey Hendrickson had 17 and a half. Now, I will put this caveat. If Aiden Hutchinson was playing, I would have it on, no doubt. I would have had the thing on probably trade deadline, Thanksgiving. There's no doubt about it. So you guys would have definitely got that. But there's still hope. It's always been the case. That's never changed. All right. But I will say that if Hutch was playing, and I would gladly put it on. Like this is not an L for me. Hutch would be Defensive Player of the Year. It'd be cool if Kirby wins it because that is, trying to like making up for Hutch. But Hutch would have been Defensive Player of the Year. We would have been just destroying the quarterback, and that's a win. Me looking like a fool in a clown suit is a win in my opinion, right? So the bad news is that I'm going to show you. It's weird. We're going to go by the Detroit Lions roster. Now, James Houston is no longer on the team, but here, if we go down to James Houston, he actually is listed as a DE, but on the Lions website, it says DT. That he was an LB. Then here, if you go up, this is the one I was talking about. Mohammed is listed as an LB. He has 2 sacks. So just for fun, let's see. Let's go and let's look up. I'm going to pull up the Detroit Lions website, and we'll go officially by what they say. So that's why I said you might gain 1 and lose 1. So if I count Houston's but not Mohammed's, that's the Lions have 24 sacks from the defensive line designation. And then you can do the math if I don't count it. So let's go to the D line, and we're going to see who's listed as a D line. All right. And we counted, I think Miles Adams, one of the new guys, the practice squad dudes, got a sack. I counted his as well. Miles Adams, D-line. Broderick, D-line. They got him as a D-line. All right, so that's 2. That means that is 2. James Houston was an LB on here. All right, so the Lions have him on a D-line. So there you go. All right, so with those 2 now, if the Lions get 2 more sacks from the D-line, then I have to wear a clown suit. And you can see me, you can hear that I'm smiling behind this because it's a lot closer. 4, I wouldn't have been tripping. Now, we got 2 yesterday. I don't know who got the 2 sacks. I'm going to pull it up because I want to see. And this is about Yannick Ngakoue. If the Detroit Lions could get Yannick Ngakoue, you guys might be able to see me in a clown suit. So let me pull up the box score. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Now, the 24 sacks or 26 now that I'm saying, those are so it was Brian Branch that got a sack, and it was, who else? Miles Adams, the new guy, all right? So it'll be real busted for y'all, like if a secondary player gets a sack and then a defensive lineman gets a sack. That would be crazy. So I counted James Houston's, but not, and I wish we could go see, because James Houston was listed as an LB on the Detroit Lions website. So let's just do this. 3 sacks for certain would put me in it. It would certain put me in it. But that brings you back to Yannick Ngakoue. If the Detroit Lions, they should put in a waiver claim for him and anybody else on the D-line. And if he clears waivers, they should definitely bring him in 100%. Again, we are trying to go all the way. And you could see last night, Brock Purdy, we could not get any pressure on this man. And then when we finally did, he threw a pick. It was the same thing he did last week with Miami. He threw, Calais Campbell was bearing down on him, man, and he threw a pick in that game as well. So let me know. Let me know. And again, I think I might be able to go back and watch a video and see what the Lions had him as, James Houston. I want to say it was an LB. I want to say that, but it's weird, man, because ESPN had Mohammed. It was weird. They seem to change. So we'll see. But if we count James Houston's and Mohammed's, we're at 26 from the defensive line designation. If we don't count James Houston, then we're at 25. So you would need 2. You need 2, 3 for certain, 2 perhaps. We'll see. Can the Detroit Lions get me in a clown suit by the end of the regular season? Because that's when it ends. So it does not go into the playoffs. It ends right now. So they have 1 game, Sam Darnold. They need 2 sacks or 3 from the defensive line. And your boy will put that clown suit on special order, man. Special order. Get it from Jeff Bezos himself. Anyway, this channel was made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. The foundation has been laid, and we continue to build on this channel to make this the #1 fan-driven YouTube Detroit Lions channel on YouTube. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. My numbers back up what I say. I don't just put I'm the #1 anything unless I really am. And that's all because of you.